Okay. Hi, everyone. I just want to make sure that you can listen to me.
Sí, Erika, sí.
Okay, great. Thanks. Um, and so welcome everybody to our OnePIH initiative monthly training meeting. This is our sixth cross-site monthly training meeting hosted by us, the team of the cross-site training team. These meetings are open to all PIH staff interested in training, and they serve as a platform to connect, share perspectives, explore new training opportunities, and build a collaborative cross-site training network. Siguiente. Proceed. Just give us a second, please. We're having technical difficulties. Thank you for your patience. Okay. Uh, so before we begin, just a quick reminder, we have automatic translation services available uh, from English to Spanish and vice versa. So please go to the interpretation button at the Zoom toolbar. It's just right to the right, and you can choose either Spanish or English. So before we begin, we would like to make a really small activity. This is just a really brief check-in. Uh, we're going to share in the chat box a link to Microsoft Whiteboard. And we would like to invite everyone to share how they're feeling today in just one or two words. This is just a small check in. And just so you know, this is a voluntary activity. You're not forced, this is not an obligation to participate. Uh, and we're going to take a screenshot of the whiteboard and we'll share it in the follow up email. So in case you don't want your answers to be shown, you can also share them in the chat box here on Zoom. So we'll just give you a couple of minutes so you can share. And you can choose the language you feel most comfortable with. It can be English or Spanish or none of those two. And thank you also to those who are participating here on Zoom. So while you keep on participating, um, we have a second question for you to share with us either on the Zoom chat box or at our whiteboard, which is what would you like to give to the group joining this training monthly meeting? So, for example, you may like to give them joy or hope or enthusiasm. So you can again share your answers here on the chat box, or you can join us in whiteboard. The link is here in the chat box as well. And we'll give you a couple of minutes to answer both of these questions. Thank you. Thank you everyone for participating in this activity. Um, while we wait for others to join us, I would like to uh, share and read some of the answers. So for question one, how are you feeling today? There's people who feel superb, awesome, great and energetic, overwhelmed and tired. Others who are feeling great. Uh, and here in the whiteboard, there's people feeling eager and happy, tired, anxious, but optimistic and amazing. And regarding what you all want to give to our group today, there's people who are willing to give joy, hope, peace and hope, sharing knowledge, being together, good vibes, and a desire to keep learning together, reassurance that despite all that is happening, things will be okay. Well, thank you, everyone. These are wonderful answers. Uh, and if anyone else wants to uh, give a couple of words either here or on a whiteboard along with the call, you're more than welcome to do so. So, for us to keep on with the call, I would like to give you a brief overview of our meeting agenda for the upcoming 6 months. Remember that the focus of these meetings is alternate. What does that mean? That means that every other month, we dedicate time to knowledge and experience exchanges, which means to spotlight training initiatives from specific care delivery sites. And then in the alternating months, that means right now in February, April, June, and so on, we focus on showcasing training tools and resources that are available at all PIH staff. So this time it's February. We're having Edgar, our colleague from the Center for Global Health, sharing about a tool that we use a lot. And before we jump to our updates, we would like to share with you the January edition of our newsletter. So as you can see, the image of the month was San Milasante's Mirebalais Hospital. Uh, this is to mark the 15th anniversary of the 2010 Haiti earthquake. And we would like to take a moment right now to honor the resilience of the communities we work with at PIH and our ongoing commitment to health equity. Uh, We do so also hoping that this helps everyone to navigate the current world events. Okay, so we're gonna jump to the updates really quickly so Edgar can have time to present. So when it comes to updates, talking about the building process of the OnePIH training hub, apart from working on finalizing the tools for collecting raw materials and creating a calendar for upcoming training events, which can be internal or external across sites, we're also developing additional key tools and resources identified by staff as priorities for their teams and training. We're also creating a global health training experiences document where the purpose is to invite PIH staff around the world to share their lessons learned and best practices. And we want to do this through practical case studies that include key training related insights. So basically, what prompted the initiative or why it was necessary. Also to discuss challenges. So, for example, any barriers or issues encountered where they were resource wise, cultural, logistical, and so on. Uh, and also the solutions that the team gave. So, how were those challenges addressed? Through tools, adaptations, collaboration, reaching out to other teams or organizations, and the outcomes, which can be translated into concrete results, meaning statistics, any observed behavioral changes, improved practices, or any other thing that you realize happens after the training. As you can notice, I know it's really hard to read. That's not the objective. This is just a sample. But the idea is to have a really friendly format that has either prompts or questions. And we believe this can help you to reflect on and share all the hard work each side is doing in terms of training. This is an example of the Global Health Boot Camps, which are immersive training events held by the Center for Global Health in Lima. Uh, so basically, our invitation is that if you have a global health training experience that you would like to share with the colleagues from other sites around the world, we would love to hear about it. All you have to do is to complete a small survey, which we will share in the follow-up email to this meeting, and we will use the data you share. So our next update has to do with another format, which are the informational interviews. So we're creating a system for requesting informational interviews with PH staff around the world. So we believe that this is a powerful networking tool, and its objective is to help participants to learn about another staff member role and responsibilities at PIH. The idea is that its interviews are more flexible and slightly informal, so they should last around 30 minutes, and they can be conducted one-on-one. And what matters most is that they can be scheduled based on both parties' availability. So through these conversations, whether they are amongst staff from the same site or across different sites and regions, participants can gain a deeper understanding of others' roles, responsibilities, scope of work, daily tasks, current projects, required skills and qualifications, as well as tools and resources that are used, and basically any other aspect you're interested to learn about. Our goal is for staff to feel more inspired and motivated to improve performance, to gain new ideas, to have more clarities about even their own roles at the organization, to encourage professional growth, networking, and help to identify activities and best practices that could be replicated across programs or across sites. Uh, for the time being, we're inviting staff to register and join the interviewee pool for providing these interviews. Uh, so if this is something you would like to be a part of, either as interviewee or interviewer, please use the survey that we will share at the follow-up email for this meeting. And the next follow-up is that over the past month, we've noticed that many sites have requested to have take a look at legal documents from other sites to understand how collaboration with other institutions work. So we have started collecting legal documents including sample contracts drafted by cross-site PIH staff, which specify that intellectual property rights of collaboratively created training materials that are jointly owned by both PIH and the site's Ministry of Health. Uh, well, the idea is to have a look of these documents, and we will translate them and make them available at the SharePoint repository. This will allow sites to access them as references for creating or modifying their own contracts. Our goal is basically to ensure that sharing training materials or content on the SharePoint page complies with all PIH and Ministry of Health regulations and agreements, safeguarding both adherence to established guidelines and maintaining a positive relationship with every country's MOH. So now we're going to go through the site updates. We have many specific site updates, so I'm gonna try to go as quickly as I can. So starting with San Melasante, the general team and the research team have been granted access to the Tuvoti introductory course. And we have also discussed the need to access research materials in other languages apart from English. We know that for some languages it's almost impossible to have materials, but there are other languages, for example, French, even Spanish, in which these materials are not as easy to get. So the wider discussion and invitation is for any other side who has noticed difficulties in obtaining research materials to reach out to us so we can have a further discussion with across teams. So with PIH Lasudu, we've learned about a valuable tool, which is the DHIS2, the District Health Information Software, a free and open source platform used by the Lasudu MOH as a health management information system for facilities. And PIH Lesotho uses it to basically in-house information for all the activities carried in all the programs, including maternal and child health, TB, oxygen supplies, mental health, and all trainings. And they even have their own internal features that are not used by Lesotho's MOH. Regarding Kazakhstan, we would like to make a shout out to the mental health team for their training collaboration with Kazakh University. Between June 2023 and July 2024, they facilitated substance use prevention activities for over 400 university students and then facilitated training for 25 students to facilitate and replicate these same activities. Regarding PIH Canada, they shared with us their youth resource library as well as their gender resource library, which illustrate how gender perspective and intersectionality strongly inform their work. They shared with us that they're more than happy to provide in-person training about gender analysis in health for any interested site. So for PIH Sierra Leone, we learned about their incredibly valuable training initiatives for both nursing staff and comprehensive MCH. These programs will definitely help to build a strong foundation for all healthcare professionals working at the Maternal Center for Excellence. When it comes to IMB, the Rwanda side, the IMB team has had some packed weeks facilitating the social medicine community health course for med students, which biggest goal is to be memorable, meaningful, and transformational for all med students. They also recently shared and led their third trainer of trainers for this fiscal year, which focused on learning transfer. For APAZU, for PIH Malawi, the team has been granted access to Tuvoti introductory course. Remember that any site who's interested in further learning about Tuvoti can reach out to the OnePIH training initiative team, and we will grant you access to this course. For SENS, for the PIH Mexico team, they have also been granted access to this Tuvoti introductory course, and we are working with them to address specific needs of the HR, leadership, and teaching teams. For Socios and Salud for PIH Peru, we discussed their need regarding mental health training for staff members. In this regard, they already developed a basic helping skills school, tools that are basically available in Spanish in Tuvoti. And finally, for PIH Liberia, we're having individual meetings with HR, clinical, community
all
health,
of this violates the...
Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. Thanks, Simone. So for PIH Liberia, we're having individual meetings with HR, clinical, community health, and other teams to learn more about particular needs and how they're handling training for their staff. This is because we're aware that PIH sites have many teams. We work with really big teams, so sometimes it can be easier for all of us to to work directly or to talk directly with specific teams to build the puzzle better. So now, finally, thank you everyone for listening to all of these updates. We're moving now to the topic, the main topic of our agenda today. So today, as I mentioned at the beginning, we're having an exciting tutorial on the interactive e-learning and content creation platform, Genially. So before we begin, I would like to introduce our presenter for today, Edgar Barriga. Uh, yeah, so hi, hola Edgar. Hi, Edgar. So Edgar has a degree in communication sciences by the National University of San Agustin, Peru. He started working in the field of virtual education in 2017 when he joined the Technological University of Peru, holding positions such as junior communicator, instructional designer, and senior communicator. He worked as a presenter for a YouTube channel visiting many parts of Peru, which allowed him to know the reality of his country in depth. In 2022, he joined the Socios and Salud Center for Global Health as curriculum assistant and has been working as educational analyst since 2024, generating resources and tools for training. So, Edgar, thank you so much for joining us today. The floor is all yours. I'll leave you to present.
Gracias, Erika.
Thank you, Erica. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon or good evening to all of you. As Erica well said, today we are going to talk about a topic that is very interesting for us in the Center for Global Health. And this is great for creating educational material, for training, and so on. Now I'm going to share my screen so that we can start. Please let me know if you can visualize my screen. Thank you very much. Great. So now let's start. I'll give you a brief overview of what is Genially. Genially is a tool that we're going to learn to use today. As Erika said, I have a BA in Communication Science with a specialization in Public Relations, Audiovisual Communication, and Virtual Education. I have been working as multimedia educational analyst for 1 year at the Center for Global Health. And now let's dive into the Genially app. Genially, as it states here, it's a web-based tool that can be used very easily. And it is very easy to use and it's great for teaching. It has a very simple operation. You, it's just like Canvas where you just have to drag and drop, but it has a great potential because it's very interactive and also you can use certain tools for animation purposes. You need to log in, of course, but it's not complicated at all. You can access it using your Gmail account. Well, what does Genially offers? Well, first of all, Genially offers interactivity. It has layer information. You can also have access to windows. You can also use video audios within the same site. The information will not be flat. It will be an interactive information. And here I have an example for you. And you will see how we have played to get this. it information. We'll do this later. This is a way for us to introduce information in a different dimension. This is more than a PowerPoint presentation. As you will see, it's an interactive tool. This is the interface. And as you can see, here we have a presentation that was already created. Here we have the cell. We have the definition of the cell. The cell is the basic unit that constitute living beings. And here we can press the dot so that we can learn more. And as you can see, if we push here, a window will open and I will get further information about this chart. You can see, I can find what this visual is. It's mitochondrial liposome, and so we can go around the cell image so that we can get further information about the cell parts. This is very different from the PowerPoint slide. As you can see that I have to go from slide 1 to slide 2 in order for you to look at this. So just by pointing the arrow, you will see how the window opens and give you further information. It's a way for you to interact with the document. What else? Well, we have storytelling. Through Genially, we can create a story using graphic information. We can use layers of content so that we can create a connection. We also have animation. As I was saying, we have animated elements that will help us to focus more on the information. These are interesting animated elements. And here I have another example that is about looking forwards. But we are not going to do that now, but later you can interact with it. We can have different resources created starting from this animation possibility. We also have gamification. When you have in-person classes, you can work in pairs and engage the students by playing. Play increases motivation among students, improves concentration, and promotes problem solving. This is a great tool that Genially offers. It includes elements that allows you to touch, explore, and discover. I remember that in school we used to have these little um, models that you could touch and remove parts of it. For example, a body model, and you can remove certain parts and you can look how the body parts were placed in certain areas. And it allows you to learn more thanks to gamification. So after giving you this brief explanation, let's get our hands dirty. First, we need to open the website. Then we will go to the drop-down menu. We have the Genially bar. Then we are going to create a Genially. We'll go into the presentation menu and we'll create a template presentation. Or, well, we can create a blank presentation. Then we'll save the presentation, and then finally we will share the presentation. Those are the basic steps for you to build a Genially. So now let's get our hands on. First, let's go into Genially. We need to open the website. The website is genially.com, just as you can visualize in the screen. And as said, you can use your email to log in, or you can also create an account. If you create an account, you'll see three possibilities. You can create a professional, teacher, or student account. Click on one of them. After that, they will offer you certain packages. If you want to create a free account, then you can use your Google account to log in, or you can use Facebook as well. As you can see, I am already logged in. and I can start. Today we have the global, this Center for Global Health created, which is important for us to create resources for the Tovuti platform. Tovuti platform is the one that we use for global training. If I log in with my Google, I just have to click in the bottom at top. Now we are going to wait for it to load, and we now go into MySpace. As you can see, in MySpace, we have certain folders that are created. In our case, these are the files where we save any material that we create. We have materials for different courses and projects for the Center for Global Health. As you can see, we have collaborators too. In the left-hand side bar in black, we have the name of the collaborators that are supporting us. Today we have Rosie, for example, and Anna. We are sharing the platform with them. Ana Laura is joining us today in the meeting, and we have others also supporting. Erika was the first speaker today. I am also logged in, as you can see. And now, in this second menu, you can see how to create a Genially. We have the recent elements that we have created or worked with and other items. And in the wider area, we have the files. If we want to create a new Genially for a project, for example, we need to go here to create folders, and then we can create. As well, I want to share with you that because we have a premium account, we have the possibility of developing more elements. We have access to more templates. We have access to more resources. If you have a free account, then certain resources will not be available yet. It's going to be very useful. Okay, so now I'm going to create a Genially for you. And now we can create any type of presentation from scratch. We can use a blank template, or we can use one of the templates that we have here. And that is what we do to save time and also to let our creativity loose, because creating requires time. And when we don't have time, we need to resort to templates or images that were pre-designed so that we can help our creation process. We can create a presentation or a template or create a resource that will be interesting for us. Here I am going to look for one just as an example. As you can see, we have tons of options here. And here we have one template for video games. Look at this. We're going to use this one, okay? It is quite interesting, isn't it? What I just need to do here is to press here to pre-visualize this game. And here we have what we usually find in the first layer of a video game. In this case, we have a Nintendo-like game. And here we have the menu, introduction, characters, and missions. And we can click on one of them, and it will give us an introduction. And then if we want to go back, we have to click on the green button here, and we'll go back to home. And now we can go into characters, and here we'll take a look at the characters, and the character has their own icons and names. And if we click on one of them, we will get further information about the character. It all depends on what we want to do, you know. Okay, great. So Just like this, we have many other presentations that are quite interactive. Now, I'll look into infographics, and I'm going to use one of the ones that we had developed or that are available. As I said at the beginning, we had one infographic about the cell. And here we are going to use the one about cell, but it has a different format. As you can see, once we use this template, we just have to click here and use this empty button, and a new tab will open up. Let us wait a moment, and it's uploaded. Now we are going to select all because we want to have all the templates that are available, and we can continue. Once we have done this step, we'll start editing. Very well. As I said at the beginning, in the beginning, we have this black bar where we now have the resources available to create a template. We have text, other interactive resources such as gifts and images, shapes, icons, or you can have this cartoonish icons, for example. You just have to add them. We have images, drawings, charts, and tables. We have as well compositions that you can also use in PowerPoint, of course. We also have interactive elements. These are used mostly for stickers and buttons. These are important tools for you to have access to further information. Below interactive elements, you have interactive questions. So, if you want to, you can have a question that has a multiple choice answer or an open-ended question, or you can pick images and so on. We are not using this with the Genially because we have another platform that have other options that are more suitable for us. Below we have widgets, and below widgets we have the option to insert. Here we can insert images, audio, videos. That means that we can work with the preloaded information in Genially, but also we can use our own in-house images and resources. We just have to upload the information that we have of PIH or anything. I can upload my video, my audio, and others. We can upload the link or the code and just click on insert. This is a tool that allows us to work with all that. And finally, we have the background and pages. For background, we have a canvas. And also we have a basic background, which is below the canvas. As you can see, we are using a very soft color, and I can change it. You see, I just can use my palette to click on the color that I want to use and create a new background. You can even use the code of the number, and in Partners in Health has a specific color, and we can just type in the number or the code of that color to have it. And you can use the canvas to change. As you can see, here we have the colors recently used, the colors of the brand, the colors of the document, and we can continue to change it. So I'm going to leave it like this, and that's it. Finally, we have the pages. The pages will show us each and every one of the pages that we have created. As you can see, we have three types of cells and two types of cells and further information. Everything can be read here. We can visualize each one of the pages that we have prepared, and in below we have a small menu that allows us to create a page. Also, we can change pages, increase the size of the page, and more tools, for example, colors, as we have just seen. We also have the canvas. To start editing, we just need to pass our arrow on top of the element. In this case, we have a document. We just have to type in what we want the heading to be. So we have the eukaryotic cell, and I'm going to change the information. So here, I just have to highlight the letters, and when it's in blue, you just have to change it. Just type in what you want to say. In this case, la célula eukaryote. Little by little, you can change the text. You just have to double click it and then substitute the text with whatever you want. As you can see, on top, we have some icons. Those icons are for us to give it interactions. For example, if I click here in interaction, and our new window will pop up, and it will give us an effect. We can use like a zoom, a slide, like a whirlpool. So we have different possibilities of for effects, text effects that we can use when we are changing slides or when we are moving the word. So in this case, we are going to zoom it, and you will see how the text will change format. We can also assign a time if we want that effect to last for a certain time. We can type in the number of seconds that we want that effect to last, or we can use the plus or minus sign to increase or reduce the timing. And also we can use a different speed. And great, everything is here. And also we have this little hand here that tells us about interactivity. This interactivity means that we can make a window open, or by just clicking on it, we will have a link to another tool, or we can play an audio. We can do that with the text, or you can have within a button more information, or within an image another information. It all depends. In this case, for example, we have added certain information, and now we are going to pre-visualize it. On top, we have a menu. In that menu, we will see the name of our work, the name of our presentation. In this case, we have the vertical infographic of about cells. And here we can say or state if we want our presentation will be public to public, or it's going to be a private presentation, or just a draft. And here you'll see who can collaborate with that information. In our case, we have our partners in health collaborators, and next to this we have a little eye that means progress. And if you click on it, you will see how our work is making progress. In this case, you'll see the changes. You see La Célula and the changes to the heading and so on. In this case, if you go below, you'll see the little tabs. If you click on the tabs, it will give us open a window with information about the part of the cell, and we can edit the name if we want to have a text in it, or just the image, or a representation of the parts of the cell. You will see it. So here we have the next slide. Again, we have a link to an image, and we will see a pop-up window opening, and we can click. And here we also have a video, and we can click on it to watch it. And if we continue to move on, we will find further information. In this case, we have a different cell. We have a vegetable cell and further information. In order to step away from the view mode, we can go, just click here in the cross and go back. As you can see, we can look at the progress made just by clicking on the little eye here. And when we finish drafting our presentation, we can show a presentation. And by doing so, a new document will be created with a final presentation. That is a way for us to have a file. I forgot to mention that we need to be very creative when we are creating these templates. It will all depend on the topic. Most of the topics that we deal with deal about health, because we are an NGO working with health. And so we have to turn the information that we have and put it in a PowerPoint. And we are the ones that channel that information and turn that into this. As you can see, Genially is an easy to use tool. It's a very user-friendly platform, and we can interact with it very easily. We can use so many elements and images. It's just about uh, dragging and dropping. It all depends on how we use the tools and items, on how we condensate the information. We are dealing with a lot of information, so we need to summarize all that into a simple format that is easy to read and interactive. Now, to to wrap up, we are going to share the information. When we want to share, we will see this window pop open, and we need to activate the reusable option, because sometimes we want to reuse a template. Sometimes we may have an observation done, or maybe we need to update the information. Maybe we have a new law, or maybe we have a something new that has been changed. For example, with TB, maybe there's a new process or proceeding, I don't know. We can reuse the document or the template. Just need to click here. We wait it to become purple, and then we just click on ready, or listo in Spanish. Once we have that, we can share all the information just by copying this link, and that link is just for visualizing, or maybe we can use it to insert it in another platform. In our case, we are inserting this into Booty. That is why we use Genially. If I only want to share this information with my users, then I can copy the link, and then I'll see this presentation open, and I can click on full window or full view, and you'll see. In this opportunity, I don't see the infographic with a lot of detail because it's a vertical one, but this is the kind of infographic that we prepare the most. This is just an example for you to understand how we can use this platform. And well, that's it from my side. There is a lot of things to do with Genially. There are tutorials that are longer, but we have time constraints. We also have other tutorials from previous trainings that you can watch. Erica and Anna will be glad to help you get that information and also share the information that I'm presenting to you today. Once again, thank you for your attention. And if you have any questions, this is a time for you to make your questions. Once again, thank you, Erica.
Thank you, Edgar. And yeah, we have a couple of minutes for one or two questions in case anyone wants to ask something before we finish with the call.
O-
So are there any questions regarding how to use Genially or any of its features? Okay, so here's one question from Brendan. I'm going to read it out loud. So it says, I think I missed it earlier, but you mentioned there's a free account with some limitations. Does PH broadly have paid an account that we can share, or do you suggest starting with the free account?
Sí, gracias, Erika. Sí, Brendan.
Yes, Brendan, we do. In fact, we have an account. PIH has a paid account that can be used if you ask the corresponding authentication permit. You can use that account as well for free so that you can create more content. As I said, Genially, you can have access to a personal Genially or a corporate version. The paid version that we have opens a wide variety of tools that we can use. You can use it offline as well. You can use it online. Everything is can be done with a paid account.
Thank you. We have time for one more question in case anyone wants to ask something. And Brendan just says, thank you. Great to know it's widely accessible. Okay, so it seems we don't have any questions for now. So thank you once again, Edgar. Generally, I agree it's a really fun tool, and it's, I can tell it has many possibilities to create much more interactive and fun presentations. Oh, wait, Adrian has a question. Sorry. Adrian wants to know when is exactly that we can use Genial in our trainings. So, Edgar, any recommendations for that?
¿Me repites la pregunta, por favor, Erika?
Can you
Uh,
please
when
ask
is
the question
exactly that
again?
we can use? So, when do you recommend to use Genially for trainings?
Ah, ok. Ok, gracias. Bueno, y podemos
Well, generally, depending on the type of training we are given. As you can see, there are so many possibilities to create material. For example, we create this tool for virtual online trainings. Thanks to its interactive elements, we have great response. for Tovuti, we used to have a video explaining everything. We would have the teacher, the trainer about the topic. They would read a PDF document, for example, and then the presentation would be in PowerPoint. And those were the three elements that we used to have in our training course. We wanted to make innovations because we don't want to have a flat presentation. We wanted a presentation that could use Genially and make the class more interactive. We gave you the example of the cell, and by using that example, the student can engage more just by clicking in the different parts of a cell. They will find information about the specific bits and pieces of the cell. That is a great way for the student to engage with the topic. We can give general information at the beginning, and then just by clicking, the student can delve into the information. We can use an image for the student to click in, or we can also use an icon. The students click on it, they can follow about statistics. That is a great way for us to use Genially in the different presentations that we have. It will allow the training course to be more understandable, easy to get. Users will not reading of the course. It's interactive, and that is why I was telling you about gamification. It's a way of us to learn while playing.
So knowing that we're already done with time, we'd like to thank you once again. Remember that if you're interested in creating contents using Genially, you can contact Edgar or anyone from the Center for Global Health team. And just before we leave, please join us in March. We're having Adriana Vinesa from IMB as our guest, and he will presenting about IMB's wonderful training program. We will send you the invite in a few weeks, but we'll be more than happy to have you here with us the next month. So thank you, everybody. Have a great day or night, wherever you're joining from. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you.